The habit loop, unlocking the secrets of your brain. Have you ever found yourself reaching for that chocolate bar, even when you promised you wouldn't? Or maybe you've been stuck in a routine of checking your phone first thing in the morning, before you even get out of bed. What if I told you these actions, and many others, are all controlled by a powerful yet invisible loop in your brain? Welcome to the habit loop, a cycle that's running your life without you even realizing it. The habit loop consists of three key components: the cue, or trigger, the routine, the action you take, and the reward, the payoff. Let's break this down, step by step. The cue, this is the trigger that sets off the loop. It could be something external, like seeing a donut in the break room at work, or internal, like feeling stressed after a long day. This cue activates the brain's habit system, prompting you to start a familiar routine. The routine, this is the habit itself, the action you take in response to the cue. It could be reaching for that sugary treat, scrolling through social media, or even going for a walk. Your brain doesn't think much about it, it just follows the loop. The reward, every habit is reinforced by a reward. In the case of that donut, it might be a quick burst of pleasure or a moment of relaxation. For social media scrolling, it might be the dopamine rush from getting likes or comments. This positive reinforcement is what locks the habit into your brain system. Now, here's the kicker. Once this loop is ingrained, your brain starts to run it on autopilot. You don't have to think much about it, and that's why it's so hard to break a bad habit. It becomes automatic. You see the cue, you take the action, and you get the reward without even thinking. But here's the good news: you can change your habits once you understand the loop. Want to break that bad habit or form a new, positive one? The key is to identify the cue, swap the routine, and still get a rewarding feeling. For example, if you want to stop snacking on junk food every afternoon, you might notice the cue is feeling tired around 3 p.m. Instead of reaching for a candy bar, you could take a walk or have a healthy snack. You'll still get the reward of a break and a boost of energy, just in a healthier way. To hack your habit loop, it's about making small changes to the routine. This process might take time, but once you master it, you'll have unlocked a cheat code for your brain. Imagine being able to create positive habits that stick without feeling like you're forcing it. In the end, understanding the habit loop isn't just about breaking bad habits, it's about taking control of your life. Once you unlock this secret to your brain, you have the power to change your habits and create the life you want. The secret to transforming your life. What if I told you that a single habit could trigger a cascade of positive changes in your life? Imagine you wake up just 15 minutes earlier, and that small change leads to a healthier routine, a more productive workday, and even stronger relationships. It sounds like magic, right? But it's not. It's the power of Keystone Habits. Keystone Habits are the cornerstone habits that, when changed, can set off a chain reaction of positive changes in other areas of your life. They're like the first domino in a row: tip one over, and the rest follow. The beauty of these habits is that they don't just improve one aspect of your life, they improve everything. Take a look at exercise, for example. A simple habit of working out, even just for 20 minutes a day, is a classic keystone habit. At first, it might seem like an isolated action. But here's where it gets interesting. Once you start exercising, you're likely to eat better, sleep better, and even feel more confident. You might find that you have more energy throughout the day, which means you're more productive at work. Exercise, a seemingly small habit, leads to a massive improvement in many other areas of life. This concept works because keystone habits activate a ripple effect. Let's break it down. Building confidence. When you start with a simple habit like making your bed in the morning, you've already completed one task, which gives you a feeling of accomplishment. This sense of achievement fuels your confidence, making you more likely to tackle bigger challenges throughout the day. Health and wellness. Developing a habit of eating nutritious foods often leads to other healthy habits, like drinking more water, sleeping better, and even meditating or journaling. It's like a healthy lifestyle snowball that keeps rolling forward. Mindset shift. one of the most fascinating aspects of Keystone Habits is their ability to change your mindset. For example, adopting a habit of setting daily goals can shift your thinking from, "I hope I get through the day," to, "Here's how I'm going to crush today." Relationship strength, even something as simple as regular family dinners or weekly check-ins can significantly improve your relationships. Once you start prioritizing time for your loved ones, you may find yourself making better efforts in other areas of your relationships too, more thoughtful communication, being present, or even resolving conflicts more effectively. The key here is that Keystone Habits aren't just about what you do, they're about how they shape your identity. They influence the way you see yourself and the way you approach life. And because of this, they are often the easiest and most effective way to make lasting, positive changes in your life. To give you a real-life example, think about Starbucks. The company didn't just teach its employees how to make coffee, they ingrained a habit of delivering excellent customer service. This Keystone habit didn't just improve sales, it changed the entire culture of the company. Starbucks employees began to take pride in their work, which spread into their personal lives as well. That one simple focus on customer service became a powerful habit that impacted everything from employee satisfaction to brand loyalty. So, what's the one habit that can be your keystone? Is it exercise, meal prepping, or perhaps simply making time for a quiet moment in the morning? Find that one habit that has the power to spark multiple improvements, and you'll be well on your way to transforming your life. Training your brain like a muscle. Imagine this: you're sitting at your desk, eyes glued to the screen, and suddenly, you feel the overwhelming urge to check your phone. Your willpower is on the line. We've all been there, trying to resist temptation, stay focused, or stick to a goal. But here's the shocking truth: willpower isn't something you either have or don't have. It's more like a muscle that you can train and strengthen over time. In this video, I'm going to show you how willpower works, how it affects your habits, and how you can train it to become stronger, just like building your physical muscles. Ready to unlock your brain's full potential? Let's dive in. What is willpower? Really, willpower is the ability to control your impulses, stay focused on long-term goals, and resist short-term temptations. It's the reason you're able to stick to a healthy diet, resist checking social media while working, or push through a tough workout. But here's the thing: willpower isn't infinite. It gets tired the more you use it. Think of it like a battery that drains throughout the day. If you constantly exercise your willpower, by saying no to temptations or staying focused on tasks, your mental energy will dip. This is why we often find ourselves binge eating junk food or procrastinating late at night. By the end of the day, our willpower battery is low. The science behind willpower, ego depletion. Researchers call this phenomenon ego depletion. It's the idea that willpower operates like a limited resource. If you keep making decisions that require willpower, like resisting the urge to eat a cookie or focusing on a project at work, your willpower reserves become depleted. But here's the cool part: willpower can be strengthened over time, just like your muscles. The more you practice using it, the more powerful it becomes. And this isn't just theory, there's science backing it up. Training your willpower muscle, just like lifting weights builds your physical muscles, practicing small acts of self-control builds your willpower. Here are a few practical tips for training your willpower. Start small. Just like you wouldn't start lifting a 100-pound dumbbell, don't jump into the most challenging tasks right away. Start with small goals, like resisting the urge to check your phone for 10 minutes. Gradually increase the time as your willpower strengthens. Routine is key. Create daily habits that require willpower but are manageable. For instance, make your bed every morning or avoid hitting snooze on your alarm. These small acts will train your brain to rely on willpower more effectively. Use temptation bundling. This is a genius tactic. Pair something you want to do with something you should do. For example, listen to your favorite podcast only while exercising. This makes the task more enjoyable and gives your willpower a break. Take breaks. Just like any muscle, your willpower needs recovery time. Don't overwork it. Allow yourself moments of relaxation or reward after using willpower for a big task. This helps recharge your mental battery. Practice self-compassion. When you slip up, don't beat yourself up. Willpower isn't about being perfect. The key is consistency. Forgive yourself and get back on track, rather than giving up entirely. Real-world examples of willpower in action. Let's take a quick look at how willpower affects real people. In a fascinating study, researchers asked participants to resist a bowl of cookies while they completed a task. The ones who had higher willpower performed better on tasks afterward, suggesting that willpower isn't just about saying no to junk food, it's about how it affects your overall performance. Think about successful people like athletes or entrepreneurs. They don't have unlimited willpower. They've trained their brains to resist distractions, stick to their routines, and push past obstacles. It's no surprise that willpower training is a core part of their success. By the end of the video, the idea will be clear. Willpower isn't fixed, it's something you can improve over time, just like any other skill. And when you train your willpower muscle, you can crush your goals and form habits that stick. How groups shape your behavior. Ever noticed how you're more likely to stick to a workout routine when you have a friend to join you? Or how your eating habits change when you're out with a group of people? It's not just you. Social habits play a huge role in shaping how we behave. In fact, our habits are heavily influenced by the people around us, whether we realize it or not. In this video, we're diving into the fascinating world of social habits and how the people we interact with can impact our actions, decisions, and overall behavior. Whether it's your family, friends, co-workers, or even online communities, social habits have a powerful way of driving our own habits and shaping who we become. Let's explore how this works. The social influence. Why we follow the crowd. It's no secret that humans are social creatures. We tend to follow group behaviors, whether it's in the workplace, at a party, or even in social media trends. Have you ever found yourself eating more or less depending on what your friends are doing? Or maybe you've bought something just because it was trending, even if you didn't need it. This is social influence at work. Humans are wired to fit in with the group. This behavior was essential for survival in our evolutionary past, but in the modern world, it shapes our daily habits in ways we often don't recognize. Social pressure can encourage good habits, like healthy eating or exercising together, but it can also reinforce bad habits, like excessive drinking or procrastination. The power of norms. Setting the stage for group behavior. Norms are the unwritten rules that govern how we behave in groups. These norms aren't forced upon us, they're learned behaviors passed down through social interactions. When you join a new group, whether it's at work or in your personal life, you quickly pick up on these norms. For example, if you work at a company where everyone takes a break at 3 p.m., you might start doing the same, even if you didn't plan to. Or, if your friends always go for junk food after a night out, you'll probably join in too, but norms don't have to be negative. Think about a sports team or a fitness class. There's a sense of community, accountability, and support that drives everyone to push themselves. The same can be true for any positive group habit. Social habits in the workplace. Building strong teams in work environments. Social habits can have a huge impact on performance. Companies with strong, positive team cultures encourage habits that promote collaboration, productivity, and morale. A group habit might be brainstorming together in the morning, celebrating small wins at the end of the week, or taking regular breaks to prevent burnout. When one person adopts a good habit, it can quickly spread throughout the team. In fact, Google's famous Project Aristotle study found that the most successful teams weren't just about having smart people, they were about psychological safety and the habits of good communication. Teams that regularly checked in with each other, offered support, and shared feedback performed better, because these social habits created trust and efficiency. Social media and online communities. A new era of social habits in today's digital world. Social habits aren't limited to face-to-face interactions. Social media and online communities have created an entirely new set of social habits. Think about how we follow trends, imitate influencers, or react to viral challenges. Our behavior online is often guided by the habits of those we follow or the groups we belong to. For example, the rise of fitspiration on social media has led many to adopt healthier lifestyles because they see others doing it. The same can be said for eco-friendly habits. People are becoming more conscious of sustainability because it's a shared value within their social circles or online communities. The influence of social media isn't just about seeing pictures of people's lives, it's about seeing behaviors that become normalized. From how often we post selfies to the language we use or the products we buy, we're constantly adapting to the social habits around us. How to leverage social habits for positive change. So, how can we use social habits to our advantage? Here are a few tips on how you can harness the power of your social circle to create lasting positive changes in your life. Find a like-minded group, whether it's for fitness, healthy eating, or professional growth. Surround yourself with people who share your goals. Their habits will encourage you to adopt better habits too. Be the positive influence. If you want to change a group habit, lead by example. If you start adopting positive habits like exercising or saving money, others may follow your lead. Use accountability. Share your goals with your friends or coworkers. When people know what you're working towards, they'll help keep you accountable, making it more likely you'll stick with your good habits. Build rituals. Create group rituals or habits that promote bonding and personal growth. Whether it's a weekly dinner with friends or a team brainstorming session, these habits can reinforce positive behaviors that everyone benefits from. Social habits are everywhere, and they have a huge impact on our behaviors, both positively and negatively. By being aware of how group dynamics influence our actions, we can start to intentionally shape our social circles and behaviors to work in our favor. After all, as the saying goes, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So choose your group wisely, and watch your habits, and your life, transform. The hidden forces behind consumerism. We all know that habits play a major role in our personal lives, but have you ever stopped to think about how our collective habits shape entire societies? From the food we eat to the brands we love, our individual choices are heavily influenced by the habits of those around us, and, even more powerfully, by the industries that know exactly how to leverage those habits. Welcome to the fascinating world of consumer habits, where companies, marketing, and culture collide to influence how we live, buy, and behave. The power of marketing, shaping your habits without you knowing it. Take a minute to think about the brands you're loyal to. Why do you buy from them? Is it because their product is the best? Maybe. But it's more likely that these brands have successfully shaped your habits through clever marketing, routine, and reinforcement. This is where the magic of consumer habits comes into play. One of the best examples of this is Coca-Cola. This brand didn't just sell a sugary drink, they sold a lifestyle. Through decades of marketing campaigns, Coca-Cola embedded itself into our habits and culture, making it synonymous with holidays, celebrations, and refreshment. The result? People don't just buy Coke for the taste, they buy it because it's become a social norm, a habitual part of events and experiences. But it's not just about soft drinks. Think about the shopping habits of millions of people who habitually browse Amazon. The simplicity, convenience, and ease of the process make it easy to return again and again, creating a consumer habit loop that's tough to break. This is how consumer habits shape entire economies, influencing the way we buy everything from books to gadgets to groceries. How advertising makes you addicted to habits. Have you ever seen an ad that just sticks with you? It might show an exciting adventure, a beautiful product, or an emotional moment that makes you feel like you need to buy something. This is habit-forming advertising at work. Brands know that if they can trigger an emotional reaction, whether it's excitement, nostalgia, or even fear, they can implant the idea of their product into your mind and create a desire that turns into a habit. Take Apple, for example. Every time they launch a new iPhone, they don't just sell a phone, they sell an experience. Through sleek ads, product reveals, and a loyal customer base, Apple has created a cultural habit of upgrading every year. Even if you don't need the latest features, the habit of purchasing a new phone has become ingrained in people's minds. The rise of fast fashion. How habits drive instant gratification. Now let's talk about fast fashion. In today's world of instant gratification, brands like H&M, Zara, and Shine have tapped into the habit of quick, inexpensive shopping. These companies have built an entire industry around the habit of wanting new clothes now. The speed at which these brands produce and release new trends keeps consumers in a constant state of needing the latest look. The key here is habit loops, the cycle of seeing a new fashion trend, buying it impulsively, and then repeating this process over and over. Over time, the habit of frequent, low-cost shopping becomes ingrained, creating a cultural norm where buying new clothes on impulse is not just acceptable but expected. How technology shapes our habits. Let's not forget about the most powerful force driving modern habits: technology. Social media, smartphones, and apps are designed to create addictive loops, making us check our feeds, refresh our notifications, and consume content at all hours of the day. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok have turned content consumption into a habitual part of our daily lives. Even dating apps like Tinder have mastered the habit loop by tapping into our desire for instant validation. The swipe, the match, the message, it's all designed to trigger dopamine, keeping you coming back for more. And it's not just about entertainment, it's become a societal norm. People expect constant connection, instant responses, and immediate access to information, shaping the habits of millions worldwide. The ripple effect. How consumer habits shape global trends. Now, take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Consumer habits don't just shape our personal choices, they have a ripple effect that influences global industries, cultures, and economies. Think about environmental sustainability. Over the past decade, the habit of consuming eco-friendly products has gone from niche to mainstream, driven by both consumer demand and corporate responsibility. Today, people are more conscious than ever about reducing waste, supporting ethical brands, and choosing products that align with their values. Similarly, as people's habits evolve around wellness, whether it's mindfulness, yoga, or fitness, the demand for health products, services, and lifestyles has skyrocketed. Brands in the health and wellness industry are now tapping into these habits, offering everything from organic food to workout gear, shaping a wellness movement that's influencing society at large. How can we use these forces for good? So, what does this mean for you? The good news is, you can leverage these social and consumer habits to make a positive impact in your life. Want to save money? You can break the habit loop of impulsive shopping by being mindful about what you buy. Want to be healthier? Start surrounding yourself with people who have positive health habits, and the influence will naturally rub off on you. By understanding how powerful these habits are, you can use this knowledge to create new, positive habits that not only benefit you but also contribute to a larger shift in society. Consumerism might feel like something we're all just a part of, but the truth is, it's driven by powerful forces that shape our habits without us even realizing it. By understanding these habits, you can take control of your own choices and make them work for you. The key to changing society starts with changing your own habits, and when millions of people do the same, we create a collective shift. So next time you find yourself reaching for something you didn't plan to buy or follow a trend, ask yourself, is this my habit, or is it a habit that someone else has created for me?